I want to ask about the reason I brought up the statues in Washington, D.C.
Because you wanted to trigger me, Jesse.
Right now in Washington, D.C., the city council wanted to put up a statue of the late former mayor of Marion Barry, who was twice convicted, I believe twice, convicted of crack cocaine. He was a crackhead. Why would black people want to walk down the road and see a crackhead statue? Can you imagine walking down the road there in Washington, D.C., your children are with you, and your son says, "Daddy, who is that black man on the statue?" And you say, "That's a crackhead."
Why do you keep referring to him in such a derogatory way, bro?
Because the man was a convicted crackhead.
You really want to have that argument, Jesse?
But
that
yet,
people
good
who fought
men
against the country are more deserving of a statue than a man who was elected by the people in this country? I think the people by this country should. I think Marion Barry is a better representation, frankly.
A crackhead. At least those no.
Like I said, I look at drug abuse as a sickness, brother. I look at drug abuse as a sickness.
Those men who were fighting back then, drug abuse is not a sickness.
You say drug user, not drug seller,
listen,
not drug dealer.
At least the Confederate men were decent men. A crackhead is not a decent man. So you don't have any problem with taking down the statues and the monuments and replacing them with a crackhead.
No, I think all monuments. I think all monuments
you
are
said
a waste
no.
of time. I think all monuments are a waste of time, Jesse.
I mentioned Marion Barry. He was caught smoking crack. Radical Islam terrorism. How do you feel about that?
Radical Islam terrorism. First of all, I feel very, very uncomfortable with the terminology of radical Islam.
But they're doing it based on what they've been taught within that.
And they're not doing it based on
religion.
the teachings of Islam. No, they're not.
Where did they get this idea of beheading and killing homosexuals and killing the infidels?
From a very perverse, it's not a radical Islam. It's a very perverse understanding of Islam.
If that's true, why don't we see in a public way Muslims out protesting?
Because what you want us to take to the streets
yes.
and say that we stand against this stuff?
Yes. The KKK was an evil organization, just like Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is a far-left, liberal, radical, agitative organization founded by a bunch of black lesbians and homosexuals and
Mr. Peterson, I suggest you give...
Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Mr. Peterson, you're now descending into extremely unpleasant and frankly vile rhetoric. And I don't know why you think this is appropriate to say this on national television, but what you just said is completely unacceptable.
She said, or think it. Not only can I not say it, I can't even think it. They're called thought police or something, right? This is what happens when you allow the children of the lie to take over. Racism does not exist, and it never existed. There was a lie made up by the children of the lie. And by this point, this woman that I was debating, black woman, that I was debating, her mouth fell open. She's sitting there looking like she was losing it. And I mentioned that I grew up on a plantation under the Jim Crow laws and that blacks have been lied to. Blacks did better back then when it came to morality and family and not blaming and whining. They didn't have black leaders. And so they brought this woman in because by this time, Piers Morgan, Susanna, and this woman were having a hissy fit. Just literally having a hissy fit. Apparently, Oprah Winfrey gave what the liberals will call a presidential speech last night at this so-called, some kind of stupid award they had. Something called the Golden Globe Award. These elitist so-called celebrities are always entertaining themselves, worshiping themselves, making themselves feel better because they're just low-life kind of people. And so they need constant attention so that they can feel better about being wrong. I wish Oprah would run for president. Oprah Winfrey is the woman who said that racism will not end until all white people, older white people are dead. Racism won't end until all the old white people are dead. That's Oprah. Looking at that, that's what hell looked like. You're looking right into hell. How come, not all, but most black people always trying to preach? Why? Why are they always trying to preach? Oprah standing there like she's preaching. You so hot to beat me. You remember that? All my life, I've been beat by men. I ain't gonna take it no more. It's a way of seducing people. It gets you all riled up emotionally, and now you're all involved, and now you believe the lie. These same godless people that you're looking at, they support abortion at any point, most of them. They believe in so-called same-sex marriage. They hate God. They hate Christians. They don't like the order of the family. These are like no good people. Who want to listen to these people? And the men of this bunch are just weak and pathetic, girly men. They're not worth a dime. I would love for Oprah to run for president. I really would. Donald Trump would. The great white hope would blow her out of the water before she can open her mouth.
But their time is up.
But their time is up. Doesn't that sound like the devil?
For too long, women have not been heard or believed if they dared to speak their truth to the power of those men.
Lord have mercy. But they dared speak their truth. What is that? The power of the men. What is that? But their time is up. Doesn't that sound like Satan? That doesn't sound good. Did the NFL...
Which is not true. There is racism. There absolutely, unequivocally, without question, racism.
It's not. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yes, there is.
Did the NFL bring this up on Colin Kaepernick, or did he bring it up on himself?
No, he didn't bring it upon himself.
So did the NFL...
No, he chose to be the one, just like Ali. If you look at Ali, Ali spoke out against, the Vietnam War. And because of that, it hindered him when it came to
You talk about Muhammad Ali?
Muhammad Ali.
Oh, man.
Okay.
He was a pitiful person.
Okay.
He was also the same coward that did very well in this country, but yet when it was time...
Very well. He worked hard.
When it was time to go and
gym.
stand for the country, he refused to go to the military.
No, the military...
So he joined the Nation of Islam and pretended to be a Muslim in order to not serve in the military.
He wasn't a coward.
But let me go back.
That's not true.
No, I write about him in my book.
Okay, but he wasn't a coward.
Muhammad Ali.
Wow.
Muhammad Ali at the time, well, I think, what's his name?
Cassius Clay.
Yeah, something dumb like that. Let me go back to...
that's wrong. You're wrong.
Let me go back to Colin Kaepernick. Did the NFL force him to kneel and turn his back on the flag and on the country?
It wasn't pretending to the flag. You keep saying that.
Let me finish the question.
No, let me say something.
Let me finish the question, then I'll let you respond.
You can't keep talking a narrative that doesn't start off with the truth.
No.
It wasn't about the flag. It wasn't about the military.
Yes, it was.
So, no, it wasn't about the flag.
He refused to stand for the national anthem.
It's not disrespecting the flag because people disrespect the flag all the time.
Does that make it right?
Wear underwear with their flag on it. So if I have my testicles wrapped around the flag, is that disrespectful? You're not supposed to even do anything like that.
So just to get it right, there are white supremacists, and there are some of them are mixed with white Jews who are white supremacists. And you said there are black Jews, but no black Jews are white supremacists.
What I'm saying,
are you saying that?
Because I don't know, you're kind of muddling all of these definitions, and I want to make it very clear. White supremacy transcends religion. You can't equate race and religion and make it the same thing. Race and religion are two different things.
But according to you, no blacks are a part of the white supremacist movement.
Well, they're black collaborators.
To
they're black collaborators with white supremacy, but they can't be white supremacists themselves. They're still victims of white supremacy.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What is it like being a man and spending a lifetime looking at white people and complaining about them and trying to get them to let you be a supremacists who are a real man. I can't imagine living a lifetime thinking that some other man, whether he's white, black, Jewish, whatever it might be, Asian, is holding me back in life. As a man yourself,
Right.
what does that feel like?
Well, I don't complain to the white supremacists. All of my messages are for the victims of white supremacy.
Right, but your whole thing is about the white man.
The white
What is
supremacists,
it-
the white supremacists,
what
not
is-
the white man, the white supremacists.
Right,
Let's be
it's
very
still
clear.
about men. They are
No,
white
the white
men.
supremacists, because you have white female supremacists too.
So men and women, white.
No, white supremacists.
Right.
Let's be very
but
clear.
What does
White
it feel
supremacists.
like to be a man who believe that these people are holding you back?
Right.
And so you spend a whole lifetime building your life around them, trying to stop them, and they're moving on with life and doing what they do
Right.
anyway.
Right.
What does that feel like?
What do you mean, what does it feel like? I
Does
feel
it
like a
feel-
victim of white supremacy.
So you feel like a victim?
I'm a victim. I'm
And
a victim of white supremacy. Yeah.
And so are they holding you back financially?
Holding me back financially. Well, they can.
Are they?
They can.
Are they?
They can.
No, but are they?
They can.
Well, I didn't ask you if they could.
Can. If I get too powerful, yeah, they'll chop my stuff down just like they chop everybody else's stuff
Well, are
down. Now, for example,
let
we
me
get
ask-
into that
I wanna
money. No,
stay
no,
with
no, I
that
want to
for- I'll
unpack
come
that.
back to that. No.
I want to unpack that
I
about
wanna
that whole
ask,
money thing.
are they holding you
because
back
they can, you
financially?
can make a lot of money.
Tariq.
They'll do the Bill Cosby thing. They can put all types of crazy charges on you.
Tariq.
They can deplete your money. So
Are they holding you back financially?
what do you mean are they holding me back? I'm in a prison called white supremacy that's global. So we're allowed, certain black people are allowed to have certain resources, but they know they can take
Are
it back
they
from
holding
certain black
Tariq
people.
Nasheed back
Well,
financially?
I'm in a system where they can hold me back.
But right now they're not holding you back.
Well, they can hold me back.
Are they holding you back?
Define holding me back.
You don't know are they holding you back from being successful in your life?
Well, I'm successful because I understand white supremacy, and I'm successful as far as I can be, as much as I can be, because they can stop my success at the drop of a hat.
Do you believe in good and evil?
Of course.
You believe there's good and there's evil.
Of course.
And what do you
And
believe?
you're good the way you hustle
What
these
do
white
you
supremacists.
believe about good and evil?
That's a very empty question. I don't even know what that means.
Okay.
What do I believe about
Let
good
me
and
ask
evil?
you this.
What do I believe about good and evil? What does that mean?
You said that you are a minister, right?
Yes, but
And do you
Jesse,
represent God?
Jesse, you're just asking me random questions with no context in them.
More and more men are calling themselves feminists, and they seem to be supporting that. President Obama, the first so-called black president, called himself the first feminist president. And wasn't he such a failure? He was a true failure. And I have with me Gregory Jackson, better known as Onision, a popular YouTuber and music producer known for comedy and dramatic videos, personal stories, and cultural commentary. Onision, should I call you Onision or Gregory?
You do you. It's either way.
Okay, welcome to the show, sir. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for inviting me.
So you call yourself a feminist, is that true?
No.
Oh, you do not. So just to clear it up, I'm black, I'm a little slow. So do you call yourself a feminist? Yes or no?
Technically, I fit the definition of both an egalitarian and a feminist.
Amazing. And why is that? Why would a man become a feminist?
Let me ask you this. Why wouldn't a man become a feminist?
Because it's a woman's thing, and men and women are different. And so I don't know why a man wants to get rid of his masculinity to become a feminist.
Can you tell me where it says that feminism emasculates men?
I mean, look around you. That's what we've been dealing with for the last 60 years or so. Feminists turning men into women, and it's amazing. So why do you call yourself a feminist? Why would you deny your masculinity to become a feminist, knowing that you are a male? What's the purpose?
Where does it say that a feminist?
Can you answer that for me?
What is the purpose of being a feminist? Is that your
Yeah,
question?
since you're a male, why not become masculine rather than going the other way?
That's not what feminism is.
What is it?
Feminism is merely looking at issues where women are treated unequally, and it's making them equal.
But how about where men are treated unequally?
Sure, yeah, that's where egalitarianism comes in. It focuses on both issues and doesn't treat one as if it's a bigger priority than the other, even though one may be a bigger priority. Depends on who you ask.
Masculinity should be the bigger priority today. Don't you agree? The slut walk. You know who Amber Rose is?
Refresh me.
She is a godless liberal who is trying to take the shame out of women being sluts. And so they had a slut walk in Los Angeles about 3 weeks ago now, give or take. And
must have been very fun to watch.
It was disgusting. So what do you think about women trying to take the shame out of being, well, some women, the liberal women, trying to take the shame out of being sluts?
Well, if you could give me a real disadvantage that's consistent with somebody being, by definition, a slut, we might be able to actually talk about slut validation shaming and that.
And so let me ask, should they take the shame out of being sluts?
If it increases the chance of unwanted pregnancy and disease, then there's a reason to feel like that's not the best thing.
Amazing. Men who were raised by good fathers are mentally and emotionally strong. And so when they go through challenges and issues of life, they overcome them rather than succumbing to them, the issues taking over their lives and causing them to become depressed.
So are you saying that people with good fathers never get depressed?
Right.
That's interesting. I'd like to see anything backing that up.
You're looking at one now. Have you forgiven your father as well?
No, absolutely not.
And will you ever forgive him?
No. No.
But if you don't, you're never going to have peace in your life.
I have peace with not forgiving.
No, it's impossible to have peace unless you forgive. So do you still deal with depression?
Wait, do you forgive Hitler then?
Yeah.
So I could quote you on you saying, I forgive Hitler.
I hold no resentment or anger to anyone.
Well, I do not forgive Hitler.
But you're never going to be happy unless you forgive your father.
That's your opinion.
No, it's a fact. It's not an opinion.
Are you a psychologist, or you went to college for that major?
No, you can't trust those people who go to college. They are as dumb as a doorknob.
Okay.
But I am a pastor, so I deal with this kind of stuff all the time.
Oh, that's why you would say that college people are dumb as a doorknob.
They are. They only give you, they hook you, take your money, and then they send you over to a doctor to give you drugs.
What about people who go to college for Christian studies?
That's dumb too.
Really?
Oh yeah. Because if God called a man to be a pastor or reverend or whatever, he also teaches them and give them what they need to say and do. No human being can give that to you. Only dummies go to school only those who have not been called by God go to school to learn what God will have you do. Those people don't know.
Are you saying that if you never encountered the Bible, you would automatically know the teachings of the Bible?
Right on. It's because it's written in your heart.
That seems impossible.
When you were a child, you knew the truth, but because of your trauma, the trauma of your parents, you forgot that truth because you were turned away from it. I want to ask you about